up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you.
Did you guys elect season-long captains? The reason I ask is people were asking about the C's on the patch, which previously around here they had just had rotating captains.
Yeah, so we had the team vote, and the one thing I'll say about this team is I feel like we have a lot of good leaders. So went with one captain for each side of the ball, and we're going to rotate game captains as well.
What have you seen from Za'Darius in that regard? I mean, maybe it's not unusual, but for a guy who's new to a team to be elected as a captain, I would think that probably says something about his personality.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about him. I think his teammates respect him. I think he's about the right stuff. I think he cares about his teammates. He tries to get them together to do things, and he brings it every day in practice. So he does a great job.
On tape, what did you see from Jair against Diggs and Thielen yesterday?
Yeah, I thought Jair played a really good game. He's competitive, and there's two plays in particular I can think that I know he'd like to have back. The one play he's in position to make a play on the ball and doesn't quite make it, and that was the touchdown to Diggs. And then the other one was another potential interception that he had an opportunity for.
What are his strengths?
I think he's a complete football player. I think he brings it. He a lot of corners, they don't like to get dirty. I think he'll bring it in the run game as well, and we feel comfortable putting him on the outside, locking somebody down.
Aaron mentioned something yesterday, but also maybe it was the spring with Jair, said that some cornerbacks when the big receiver comes to town, they kind of shrink from the challenge, but he does not. Is that something that's rare from Jair in that regard, who doesn't seem to back down from anything?
No, I think that's just he's a confident guy. He works hard every day. I would say he's one of the harder workers on our team, one of the hardest workers on our team.
So you made your statement about the injury thing, but you did have a guy that left the field on a cart. Is it reasonable to just ask, did it turn out to be worse than it looked or better than it looked? Or is it reasonable to ask what your concern level is with Raven at least? You don't have to give me specifics, but I mean, the guy's a pretty important player for you, and I think people are wondering.
Yeah, I really don't want to get into the injury report, but he'll be out on Sunday.
I know you were asked about that 4th and 1 play yesterday, but did you had a chance to kind of go back and look at that? Because I know, up in the press box, I thought he had the first down. In fact, I think Rob asked me about it. I said, "Oh, you got the first down," and then he didn't. Did you get a chance to go look at that again?
Well,
and see what happened?
I did, and you can see on the, on the sideline copy of the video where they spotted the ball initially. The official on our sideline was beyond the sticks. I knew from where I was standing that he was short, but I didn't see that official. So I think, without a doubt, you can see Aaron definitely. I think what happened was he thought they marked it a first down, and he knew he was short. So he tried to get us up on the ball before they could challenge the spot, and that's how that play happened.
Did you think about taking the penalty after the touchdown for the extra point where you could have taken on the kickoff? At that point, to maybe give Trevor and your return group a chance for field position, or what went into?
Well, I saw the offense was still out on the field. I thought they were going to go for 2, and I wanted to take that away from them. So, yeah, initially I'd much rather take that on the kickoff, but with just that situation, with a potential to make it a 1-score game or a 3-point game, I said I don't want to risk that, and I'm glad we took the penalty because Tony Brown had an excellent effort and was able to block the PAT.
Did you know he had gone to Sean after the last kick to say, he had that kind of timed up and felt he could get one?
I was not aware of that, no.
Matt, at the end of the game, the offense gets the ball 3+ minutes left. You go into that 4-minute situation. What was the key to getting that done and getting those 2 first downs you needed to drain the clock?
Yeah, it was, our guys executed, and we knew we had to get 2 first downs to leave them just minimal time. And I think it was on second down of the second play, we were able to rip a good run, and Aaron was able to, hit it. It was blocked up really, really well, and he stuck his foot in the ground and got a nice gain. And then on second down again, we decided to be a little bit more aggressive and called a keeper, a bootleg, and I can't say enough about the execution level of what Aaron Rodgers and Devontae were able to do. That is not easy. He was keeping back to his left. The defensive end was Anthony Barr was straight up the field in his face, and he had to flip his hips and hit Devontae, going to his left. That is not easy to do. There's not too many guys that can make that throw. So I thought it was a great job by those players.
How do you decide that you're going to be? You mentioned this last week too, about being aggressive there. Like a lot of coaches, they're going to run the ball into the line to maximize the amount of clock they eat and hope that they maybe break through. And that's 2 weeks in a row that you haven't been afraid to do that. Is that a philosophy you've developed? I mean, is it a gut thing? Where does that kind of come from?
Yeah, I think it's trusting your players. And I know everything hasn't been, we haven't done as well as we'd like to on the offensive side of the ball, but I still have a lot of confidence in the players that we have out there. So anytime you have confidence in those guys, I think you're going to tend to be a little bit more aggressive.
Matt, what's the next step in the progression of finding more consistent offensive execution?
Well, when you look at it, there are a lot of plays that we're close on, and I know that it doesn't count for much, but it does. I think it does give our guys a little bit more confidence. It's never quite as bad as it feels, and then we got to do a better job of staying in those manageable situations. When we got in 3rd and long, it's tough sledding against a really quality opponent like the Minnesota Vikings. So, we were hurt by a couple penalties that really took us into those get back on track situations, and then I know that we have to have a better plan going forward for the get back on track situations. That's something that Aaron and I just talked about 10 minutes ago.
Now, what'd you like about those plays where you had Jones and Williams on the field together in the backfield, and that the first one where it was the little swing pass to the left, did that basically set up the screen for the touchdown? They looked to my untrained eye like similar looks.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do, is have multiple plays that start out looking the same that are different, and that's part of our philosophy. And I knew that's something that they probably hadn't prepared for, because we really haven't shown much on tape unless they're going back to last year at Tennessee. But you'd like to try to present something new to the defense each and every week.
How much of what Aaron Jones did yesterday is kind of the vision that you have for him in this offense?
Yeah, he did an unbelievable job. Matter of fact, he was our player of the game on offense, and he did a great job. But I thought it really started up front too. I thought our offensive line did a really nice job blocking for him.
I'll go back to Rob's question a minute ago about the Williams and Jones plays. Not to say that flare out to Jones was a throwaway play, I'm sure it wasn't, but is that play just so you can run the other play a little bit later, or how do those things tie together?
Well, we actually had it so he could either hand the ball off to Jamal or throw, the little swing pass to Aaron, just depending on how the defense reacted to it. So it was an option for our quarterback to either hand it off or throw it out to Aaron, like I said, but then the screen came off of that as well.
So I guess I was wondering, do you call the first play so you can run the second play, or are they kind of independent?
That's usually how you have a progression of how you want it to go in your mind to try to set something up.
Matt, you said you're close. now that you're 2-0 and you're not sitting at 0-2 and your offense hasn't looked the way you necessarily wanted it, is it fair to say that you knew it was going to be a work in progress and you're still working toward being what you really envisioned this as being? Like, did you go in wanting to hit the ground running, but kind of knew that maybe it would take a little bit to get up and going?
No, I think we got pretty high expectations, and you know, you're going to try to do the best job you can at all times, and we have a high standard, and we're not going to deviate from that. And yeah, and I understand. I try to be realistic at the same time, but you know, just when you look at some plays that we had out there, you know, Aaron made an unbelievable throw to Devontae. That Harrison Smith made a great break on the play. We had the one to Marquez, who it was a tough catch, and their defensive back made did a heck of a job knocking that ball out. So there were a couple plays that were just bang, bang plays. The one to Aaron Jones down the sideline on the wheel route that, you know, you make those plays, you might feel a little bit different today. And then, again, in those short yardage situations, we've got to do a better job converting, because we had the one in the first half where we ran the outside zone. You know, we got to block it up better because it's there. And we got a little loose with it, and they were able to make a tackle and stone us at the line of scrimmage. And then we had another one where it was, matter of fact, it was before the fourth down where we threw the ball to Gmo in the flat, and Marquez has to block his guy. And then if he blocks his man, it's a first down. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we can control from an offense that you might feel, like I said, you might feel a little bit different after the game.
Is there any chance Orenberg's will practice this week, or is he still a ways away, do you think?
You'll find out on Wednesday.
I know it's next up, but do you spend any time with a short week on Philadelphia this week coming up?
No, that's something that we've kind of prepared for in the offseason.
The tempo you guys played with the first couple of drives, obviously it was, I assume what you're looking for, you were getting out of the huddle quickly, you were snapping with a lot of
Yeah. No.
So when defenses change up something to slow you down, how do you speed it back up, even though they've already made their adjustment?
Yeah, I think I got to do a better job of making sure that we stay with that tempo and, you know, sprinkling some of that no huddle stuff in there as well, especially when we've hit a lull. But yeah, that falls on me.
I know you talked a little bit about this yesterday with Lane and Elton. After you saw the tape, do you still think that could be like a week-by-week thing, kind of a fluid competition there at left guard?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they both did a nice job. Lane definitely stepped up and played much better than for Chicago, and I thought Elton looked really good in there as well. So that's a good competition.
I just love my team. Yeah, that's the team with them big G's on the helmet.